Hey folks, Malcolm here. I'm along with my good buddy Ryan, and we just went and saw Evil Dead. Holy shit.
Definitely a great movie.
Definitely, my gosh. Going into this, I wasn't sure what to expect. They definitely seemed to leave the comedy aspect from the original and went straight to graphic horror. Plus, they were building this up as this is the scariest movie you'll ever see. Do you think this lived up to it in your opinion?
It was definitely scary. It definitely had scenes in it that made you go, oh my god. They still had some of the comedy aspects of the original, but they didn't overplay it like the original did. And I think that's one of the classics that made the original what it is. But I think nowadays, what people expect out of horror movies, it's not something that's feasible. I mean, you can't like do that nowadays because people expect so much more. I mean, you have like movies out there like Saw and stuff like that, where people expect mangulation and just all this other stuff happening to people. You have to step it up to that new era of horror, and they definitely brought Evil Dead to that new place. And a lot of movies nowadays are having like where they're taking a franchise or whatever and they're redoing it. I personally, I'm not a fan of all the ones I've seen. This one I'm definitely a fan of because I don't feel like I'm watching the original Evil Dead. I feel like I'm watching like an Evil Dead movie, but not like it's a retell of the original.
Yeah, a new version, so to speak. I what I liked about this one so far, definitely, is that it felt like a combination of just about every kind of horror movie you could think of. I mean, it had like not only jump scares galore that you could think of. There was a lot of dismemberment, lots of dismemberment in it, and the story it told was just so graphic and scary. I was telling this to Ryan. It feels like you're walking in the middle of a movie, as in it's at the tense, dangerous part, but that's the whole movie all the way through. The entire time I'm just bracing myself for something to happen, and there's barely any room to breathe in this one.
No, and I mean, like I said before, in today's age, we expect a lot of action and a lot of. We don't want to wait. We don't. There's the whole build up back in the day was something that is now lost. I think, which is sad because I think the build up was actually one of the better parts. Nowadays, everybody's just like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. They want that instant gratification and stuff like that. Unlike back in the day when you're sitting there, you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on, and all of a sudden out of nowhere it happens. And it's just nowadays everybody wants everything now, and they actually do that in this movie, and they do it so well. And it's not like forced upon you. You get actually attached to some of the characters in this movie too, and it's good when they can do that.
Yeah, story of these characters: a group of friends who haven't really seen each other for some time. Name one of their old friends nearly OD, and that's Maya, played by Jane Levy. You said?
I think Jane Levy, yeah.
Yeah.
If we get the name wrong, I apologize.
Yeah, for sure. And they essentially get together, and this is essentially her detoxing. And it's actually kind of interesting because I guess she had just done drugs prior to coming here, and this is her official. She's going to be clean now because a lot of the stuff she sees initially, they just chalk up, oh, she's going through withdrawal, until things start going horribly, horribly wrong. I like the dynamic. I very much liked her. She did a great job not only in the acting, the shots of her terrified. You see them all over the posters. That she really sold the terror that you go through.
The mannerisms and everything that she acts and does. A lot of actors you don't have that with nowadays. I mean, a lot of actors. I think the newer actors are being more of a physical acting than just a verbal acting, and I think that's great when you can get people that can do that because it actually draws you in. You lock on the character. Like I could lock onto her character, her brother's character. I really didn't care because he just Johnny Depp has more emotion than this guy in most parts, and it's you're looking at him and you want to believe what he's trying to get across, but he just comes off as like, yeah, well, I guess. It's like, what?
Yeah, there are a lot of points where you'll smack yourself as he does different things, but yeah, I didn't. He was the only character I think I really didn't get into at all, just because how whiny and
Right.
how
There wasn't enough there for that character for you to get attached to. I don't know if it wasn't because of the acting or if it was the script. But like I said, like if you get an actor that can actually have like the mannerisms and stuff like that that can draw you in, they can do that even no matter what the script is. But this movie has a really good cast, and I think they actually had gone through a lot. If you watch this movie, it's almost like watching torture.
yeah, it's almost like torture porn in most of the scenes. You're gonna squirm a lot in this one. There's lots of dismemberment. There's a lot of almost unnecessary things getting cut. In the beginning moments of the film, you're watching people use different utensils, and yeah, I don't know about you. I was like, yep, that's gonna get used later. That's gonna get used later. That's
Yeah.
gonna.
Well, that was another good thing they did with the original. People who are fans of the original and go see this, they'll have things in there that you'll remember from the original, and you're like, oh, and then they use it, but it's not the same way the original was, so it throws you for those loops. And I think it's great that they used it for the people who've seen the originals and are fans, and because it gets you to like thinking, oh, okay, well I know where this is going now. All of a sudden, no, it's not. It's going somewhere else, and you're like, oh wow, it's really cool that they can take your mind and make you thinking it's going to go one way because of how the other one movies went, and show you, look, this isn't the same movies that you watched before. This is a different movie.
Speaking of the old films, while this movie, I agree with you, does a fantastic job of setting itself apart from those and existing on its own universe, I did notice quite a few nice homages to the previous films. Like, you were the one who pointed out to me, hey, that's Ash's car that they're sitting on. There are boomsticks, there's chainsaws, and my favorite part, there's even a nice little montage where they sort of MacGyver a cool little utensil, which I won't spoil. So yeah, they did a fantastic job here, and I've now here's the question: did you find this scary?
At some point, yes. And the best thing is this movie did a different twist. You usually have those movies out there where at the end you're sitting there, you see people sitting there, and it's like just stretching out really long, and all of a sudden something happens, and you expected it. I was actually disappointed at one point in this movie thinking that was the end. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't the end. I'm like, oh my god, wait, what's going on? And then the ending of it was just... I was like, so relieved because at first I was like so disappointed. I'm like, this is how it's going to end? Seriously? This is like the worst ending of all time. And then like, it was still going. I was like, oh wait, whoa, what's going on now?
Yeah, I gotta give credit to the ending. I was not expecting that. What happens there? Without spoiling too much, bloodiest finale of all time.
Yes, definitely a lot of blood at the end of this movie.
I will, as far as if I was scared, yeah, like I said, I was on, literally, I think this is the first time I could safely say I was on the edge of my seat. Because like, the whole movie, you're just going to be like, what's going to happen? Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And that's the whole movie. When there really is no breathers. Even during the quote-unquote safe parts, you feel like something's coming. And it really does work for the film, and it makes a really dramatic piece.
One of my also favorite things about this movie is the visual effects.
Oh, yeah.
You see a lot of movies nowadays that do CG so bad, and it just gets redundant, ridiculous. People getting shot nowadays is like blood, like you see the CG blood and everything, and it's so nice to see when people take the time and effort to make you actually think it is really happening, and they really do that with this movie. When you see it happening, you can see, like, you could put yourself in that place, and that's exactly how it looks, and you could feel some of the points that it was like, oh my god, stop.
There will be plenty of times where it's like, yeah, both the actors selling it, you will feel terrible for them. All right, now here's a tricky one. Was there anything you didn't like about it?
Just the acting of her brother. Just the character I didn't like. Everything else I liked. They did a fantastic job with this movie, and I must say, out of all the movies I went and seen this year, this is one of my favorites.
Mm.
Definitely buying it when it comes out. Probably go see it again this weekend.
Nice. I will give a little, just a teeny bit of grief as far as the jump scares, as they pretty much, you could write down every single jump scare you could think of. The bathroom mirror, driving on the side of the road, fixing something, turning around just in time. It pretty much hits all those beats. But that's really just a nitpick. I fully agree with you. I mean, the actors they got really nailed their parts. The movie was scary. I can't stress that enough. Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat, and before I knew it, like an hour and a half had gone by. Oh, so what would you give this? So you definitely enjoy it.
It's definitely one I'm going to own, and it's definitely I'm going to see again. I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably go see it again this weekend.
Indeed, I myself, if I would love to see it again. Definitely getting it on Blu-ray when it comes out. We'll give 2 warnings though for people out there. One, if you're squeamish,
Still come, bring a vomit bag.
oh yeah, there was parts where even I was starting to get sick at certain points. I'll admit that. And 2, stay after the credits.
Yes, even the rolling ones, not just the one with the visual. Usually, when you see like something that's there, it's just after like the visuals and stuff, and then the rolling credits come. Stay until after the rolling credits.
Yeah, the credits really add to it. And another thing I have to say I liked about the story, with the previous Evil Deads, they didn't really go into fully as far as the Necronomicon. You just knew it was a bad book. But through the illustrations and the various translations, which were pretty fun, they actually explain the story of what's happening when you use the book, and I appreciate it. It added to the lore, so to speak, which is always good. So, you know, 2 dudes with movie reviews, we say go see Evil Dead. Awesome, awesome film.